If you are planning a trip to Leh Ladakh with kids, then today's video is for you. Because in today's video, I'll give you few tips and recommendations of how you can plan a perfect trip to Leh Ladakh with kids, and that too without going through any of the oxygen level problems or AMS problems. Hi, I'm Nishan and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Veg Stroller. If you find today's video useful, please remember to like, subscribe and share. Let's get started. So guys, the first thing you have to remember when you're planning a Leh Ladakh trip is the age of the kid. I will not recommend traveling to Leh Ladakh with kids who are infants or toddlers. This is because they'll not be able to express, or they'll not be able to tell you what the problems they are facing. They will just be crying and you will not be able to understand what exactly is happening, and that will ruin the entire trip. I will recommend traveling with kids who are at least 5 years old, because at this age the kids understand the problems they are going through. They are able to express if they are having headaches, if they are feeling dizzy, if they are feeling nauseated, or if they are having any other problem. And once they start expressing that, once they start telling that to the doctors, they can get the right treatment. So it's very important you do not travel with toddlers or infants. You travel only with kids who are able to express. Similarly, you should also know about the terrain in Ladakh. You will not be able to find washrooms very easily, and especially when you're traveling from Leh to Pangong, or Leh to Nubra, or Nubra to Pangong, you will find washrooms at very scattered places, and the kids should be able to hold their pee and not be a frequent washroom complainer. That will ruin the entire trip. So you have to accordingly see if your kids are able to do long road trips without complaining of frequent bio breaks. That's another thing you have to remember. The third thing you have to remember is that the kids should be able to walk and manage the trip on their own without frequently asking you to carry them in your shoulders or in your arm or in pram or stroller. It's very difficult to manage in Leh Ladakh if your kid is always in your arm, because you will find it exerting, you will not get enough oxygen, and ultimately even you might fall sick. So these are the age related concerns about kid which you should take care of, and accordingly you should think whether you want to take your kids to Leh Ladakh or not. The second thing which you should keep in mind is how you travel to Leh Ladakh. I will not recommend you traveling via air to Leh Ladakh, because as soon as you enter Leh and exit the airport, the oxygen level difference will hit you and it can start impacting the kid. I will also not recommend you to travel via road, especially from the Himachal route, because the oxygen levels in Serchu Valley, Rohtang Pass and all those places are low, and that can create health concerns on the kid and even for you. What I'll recommend instead is to do a road trip from Srinagar. From Srinagar, travel to Kargil, stay for one full day in Kargil, let your body acclimatize to the oxygen level difference, and after staying for one day, then you proceed to Leh. Once you reach Leh, take 2 full days of rest in your hotel. Spend the first day in the hotel just with your kids doing nothing. You can read some books, you can play some board games with the kids, you can play some card games with the kids, you can just speak to them, discuss, think, plan, share memories, or relax without doing any physical exercise or doing anything else. Do not feed carbonated drinks to them, do not feed any junk food to them, do not let them have heavy food, especially in the first or the second day. Just let them relax, let them drink water, and that should take care of all the AMS related issues which normally everyone feels. Second day, I'll suggest you can start exploring Leh, but that too in a very chill manner. You can take the cab and you can go to Shanti Stupa and watch the sunset, and then in the evening you can go to the Leh market and you can do a light stroll there and see the shopping and other things. That should be enough to acclimatize yourself and your kids for Leh Ladakh travel. So these are the 2 recommendations. Now moving on to the third recommendation. What happens when you travel from Leh to other parts? First of all, traveling from Leh to Nubra, you will have to pass through Khardungla, and Khardungla is a place which is famous for low oxygen levels and many people fall sick here. So I will suggest that if you're planning a trip via Khardungla to Nubra Valley, do not start early in the morning, because that's the time when most of the tour operators start, and as a result the road can get traffic prone and there can be long traffic jams, and you will be stuck going towards Khardungla and stuck in the traffic. The oxygen levels will be less and it will be a problem for you and the kids. Instead of that, what I recommend is that you travel in the afternoon time. By that time all the traffic would have cleared. You will be able to easily reach Khardungla without much traffic. And in fact, I'll also suggest that do not stop in Khardungla, just cross Khardungla, go down, and then you take a halt after you cross down and the oxygen levels are proper. So that will ease your trip to Nubra Valley. Nubra Valley is not a problem once you cross Khardungla, so the kids will be able to enjoy everything there. Now next is Pangong Lake. Pangong Lake, I will suggest do not plan an overnight stay in Pangong Lake. If you are traveling from Nubra Valley, start early in the morning. It takes about 6 hours from Nubra Valley to reach Pangong Lake. Reach Pangong by afternoon, spend 2-3 hours there and start back to Leh. If you are planning a trip from Leh, then it takes about 4 to 5 hours. You can start around 8 am or 9 am from Leh. You will be able to reach at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, spend 3-4 hours in Pangong and then start back. The reason I am saying this is because during night in Pangong Lake or similarly in Somoriri Lake, the temperature gets very cold and the oxygen levels fall drastically. And this extreme condition can be very harsh for everyone, adults and kids, and many people fall sick. In fact, when I had gone to Leh, I had few people in my own group who fell sick and they had to be hospitalized. We lost entire day next day treating them in the hospital, and then once they were discharged from there, we had to travel back late in the night. So this is something which you should take care, especially when you're traveling to Pangong. Apart from that, the next tip which I'll recommend is to try and plan your road journeys in advance. Understand that the road journeys from Leh to Nubra Valley or from Leh to Pangong or anywhere else will be long, tiresome and tedious. The road will be bumpy and the child might get bored or irritated while traveling for such long distances and for so many hours. So you will have to plan accordingly. Download some audiobooks, download some songs which the kids like, have some activities which the kids can do during their car trip or the road trip, plan some games which you all can play as a group while traveling, and how you can keep the kids engaged. Similarly, have some easy to eat food in the car which the kids can eat. So maybe fruits, makhanas, dry fruits, pistachios, cashews, almonds, all those other things which you can carry. Do carry some chocolates as well, because if the oxygen levels fall or if there are problems, the kid can get some instant energy from that, and carry plenty of water for the kids. Remember that Ladakh is a beautiful destination and kids can also travel. Only thing is, if you plan properly, you will have a beautiful and memorable trip. So these are my recommendations. I hope you found them useful. If you like them, please share it with everyone else of your family and friends who are planning a Leh Ladakh trip with family but are hesitant because they have kids. Tell them they can travel with kids and give them my recommendation. And do remember to like, subscribe and share this particular video. Until next time, this is Nishan signing off. Bye, take care.